You want to market to millennials, you need to push the pull marketing, not to push marketing. Pull marketing meaning that you put that all this information that they need, so they feel they want to connect with you, and you're pulling them to you rather than pushing your product to them. If you push your product to them, they will tune you off. They will just like either disconnect you, or they will unsubscribe to your emails, whatever it is, they will tune you off. So the banner ads, the pop-ups, all that doesn't really work well with millennials. But if you can use SEO or search engine optimization, where you have the proper keywords, that you have fresh content all the time, that you're basically giving them a lot of information that Google also deem you important and will rank you on the first page of Google search, then they will trust you. Because guess what? If you're not on Google page 1 search, you do not exist, even if you are on the second page. Word of mouth is also very important to them, and that's why they go and they look at testimonials, they look at comments, they look at reviews, how many stars, what people say. I do that myself, because all that builds trust. They want organic, you can build organic attention, like I said, no pushing, by offering value. You have to share your story, and your story has to be authentic and genuine. So if you are a small business and you are the owner of the company, share who you are from the core, and put it in first person. This way they can connect with you. And don't be scared to be vulnerable, because this is what they look for. If you are a big company, let them know who your teams are, what is their background, where they come from, and definitely why you're doing what you're doing. Have a story for the product. There is actually a brand story where you have to talk about the pain points that you are helping them diminish, and be the guide of the brand story, not the hero. They are the hero of the brand story. So whenever you have a product, you don't talk about the process of your product or service, but actually you talk about the benefits of the benefits, or social responsibility. So again, if you are a recruiter and you want to recruit me as a millennial to your company, you have to tell me, what is your story? Why are you doing what you're doing? What is your social responsibility? How are you helping others? And it cannot be glitzy words on a website. It has to be shown. I have to see testimonials. Your CEO or CFO or COO, needs to have like a very personal message on a video welcoming people to the company, and what they are doing to make the world better, and what is the purpose of the company. These are the only thing that will attract millennials to you. They focus on experience. So for them, your product, your working environment, your service that you're offering has to add to the experience, and it's focused on the experience. So they believe generation content, meaning that what we talked about, like social proof, like testimonials. They like loyalty and rewards programs. I do. So all my credit cards are just I have like 2 or 3, because I don't believe in a lot of credit cards, and each one of them has a certain rewards, because okay, if I'm spending my money anyhow, I need something in return. And I'm an X, I'm not a millennial. Rewards program works really well, because this way they feel that you are valuing them. The distribution has to be mainly through social media channels and through mobile devices. There is also the way to market to them is to production, like videos, podcasts, webinars, and events. And we're going to talk about that in a second. Focus on experience. And this is what basically they care about. Same old marketing for millennials is not going to work. They look for new, unique, and exciting adventure. They rather spend money on collecting experiences than things. I mean, we saw like virtual people with big travel agencies that are doing virtual reality, taking them to places so they can experiences and they can attract them. Real estate market now use 360 and they take them around the whole house, showing it to them so they can feel like they are actually there. So it's about the experience that you are giving them. Millennials make decisions based on their experience and the experience of their friends that they actually trust. posting about a cool experience is for them is cooler than the experience itself, because remember, they are the selfie generation. They want to share everything online more or less. So as a business, you need to encourage millennials to share their experience using your product or your services with your specific hashtag. And that's because posting about the experience when they use their product, it's a cool thing for other millennials to look at and to use, and it becomes a word of mouth, basically building trust. So what is what we call UGC, or user generated content? 92% trust online content, like we said, what we call social proof. 50% find that user generated content actually is more memorable than what the brand itself produce, because they feel like it's more genuine, because it's coming from someone else that attesting to how good you are, rather than you saying, hey, look at me and how good I am. So how is UGC done? It's done through videos, it's done through reviews, sharing your post, stories, how to, and it's basically community based. Like, for example, KFC or Kentucky Fried Chicken, their user GC or UGC or user generated content, they use the hashtag of how do you KFC. And also Dunkin' Donuts, they always ask you, share your Dunkin' story. So their hashtag is hashtag my Dunkin'. And they share different stories, and they offer people basically when they share how their experience with their product, they give them what we call their 5 minutes of fame on their own feeds, either on Instagram or Facebook or Pinterest. And people, who doesn't want to feel important? Who doesn't want to feel appreciated and recognized? So they really work on that in a right way. Foundation of engaging content is basically telling a story. Telling a story, you're actually going to be selling without selling. So since we were kids, if we remember, the only thing that stayed with us when we grew up is the stories that our parents told us. And based on these stories, we get the scripts in our mind. And the more storytelling, the better you are at storytelling, the better you are at engaging everybody, but mainly millennials. The more you can engage them, if you are a service or product, or even if you are someone that is looking to recruit them, the more you involve them in a story so they can become the hero of that story, the more they will have an incentive in joining or using your product, service, or even joining your company. Because it's about all emotional connection, and it invites the consumer or the person that you're trying to recruit to be part of a community, because they want to feel part of a community. Again, they grew up with helicopter parents, they grew up with a group of friends that used to do things together. And that's why they always want to feel as part of a community. So your content has to be engaging, genuine, fresh, funny, unique, informative, and relevant to them, not whatever it is, so it has to be very well thought of before you do it. And you might think that's a lot of stuff. It might be, but it's about working smarter, not harder, and about knowing how to attract your audience. Because remember, riches in niches. If your niche is millennial, you have to market to them the proper way. Loyalty and reward programs that we talked about is basically, it has to be consistent, and this way your people using your product can share location. And that's why it's very important. Now, if we notice Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, everybody is adding a location now. And if you look at your insights in whatever post that you do, you will find that you attracted a view or a comment or even a like based on the location that you shared on your posts. Share discounts or data on it. Give discount on future services, meaning like if you use us today, your next order will have 15% discount. It works like fire. It works with me. I mean, and I'm not even a millennial. And that will keep you coming. So you say, okay, if I buy something now, but if I buy something in like 2 weeks, I'll get 15% discount, so I will use it. Give discount on not only services or products, and that will build a long-term relationship. Basically, they will become, remember, their lifespan is longer because they're still young, so then you develop that connection with them for the time of their life. And they love convenience. They love that everything, why did Amazon grow like crazy? Because it's very convenient. We have all our information there, and it's one click. You click, you put it in the bag, you click, you check out. We don't have to think about it. You know, it's automatic. It's very convenient. And for us, oh, we'll get it tomorrow or after tomorrow. Of course, that was pre-COVID. I mean, the biggest mistake that I think Amazon has done is during COVID that they removed that convenience from people's minds, and they started delivering things 21 days later. And now I used to think like Amazon, even if I wanted to buy a headband, I would go and buy it from Amazon. But now it's in my head. I still remember kind of I perceive them that it's going to take them 21 days. So I don't know if you have been following Amazon, but yes, Bezos is making a lot of money, but the Amazon services itself and making money from the products is not as high as last year at the same time. So even Bezos decided that he's going to take reign of Amazon again to turn it around. So track activities and progress, and it's all about building relationships. So make sure to ask for their birthday, not necessarily the year, but at least the birthday. Send them an acknowledgement online, send them a thank you note, send them a written happy birthday, anniversaries. And we see now even LinkedIn and Facebook lets everybody celebrate their birthday like a big deal, and we feel all recognized, and it makes us actually feel good. And it doesn't take that much. It could be like technology adjusted, and you don't have to even do it manually. So how do we distribute? Through social media. Engage them one-on-one. Like I said, if you are yourself, you can do it, or you can outsource it to have someone to do it for you. Or if you are a big company, have a team that is online, that can recruit people for you online, that can engage them online, and that can start communication and a dialogue. Always, whatever you have in your profile as social media, make sure that it links back to your website. Make sure that you have social media icons on your website. And I saw some that have a social media icon. When you click on it, it takes you it asks you to take you to your own social media as a customer. But actually the social media icon should take you to to your business or to your corporation social media channels, so they can you can increase the likes, you can increase the engagement, you can increase the comments. Images, audio, video are more effective than words. They always say that a picture is better than 1,000 words. So what else can we do? Don't sell, but share. Share your followers or your audience content and experience. Share reviews, share testimonials, share discounts, share coupons, build communities. And even if you have engaged people, if you are changing your branding, tell them, okay, I'm having this 3 logos. Which one do you think I should use? Or I'm building a new product. What do you think I should do? And offer prizes. You know, have challenges online. You know, give them something in return, even if it's something small, but people will feel that they want to be engaged. Use relevant hashtags, and hashtags are very important anywhere you are, specifically like in Instagram, in Twitter, in Pinterest, maybe not that in LinkedIn, maybe not that much on Facebook, but on all other things. And make sure that your hashtags are not all over the place. So if you are Pinterest, if you are Twitter, if you are LinkedIn, no more than 3. Because after that, the engagement drops by 38%. Instagram is even limiting now the number of hashtags where they can rank you. They're changing their algorithms. So if you were to go in channels, LinkedIn is the only proper B2B or business to business or business to consumer, but it's the only professional site. And people on LinkedIn are a different breed. They are very professionally and business-like oriented. Twitter, 80% of them are active on mobile. Actually, that's why Twitter, when they started, they were only 140 characters, because in 2006, they wanted to go to use an app that is social media where people can use it not only on a laptop, but also on their mobile phone. And at that time, the text messages were only 160 characters, I believe. So that's why they made it 140, including your username. So Twitter is real-time sharing, post daily, use hashtags, use the trends. Usually Twitter on the side give you the trends of what's trending that they use that. Use infographics, like infographics, you can build them. You know, there are a lot of free apps that will build them for you. It's a visual display of information. Like you can share numbers, you can share story. You know, it's about sharing stuff in a fun way, or in a more or less like a pictured way. Facebook, be on Facebook, like have a business page, do Facebook Lives, do ads, have a group, do events. And now LinkedIn has a native event app, and Facebook has a native event app. I know that some of you, for example, saw the event that I'm doing today through LinkedIn or through Facebook, because I use both and I invite people, and that's how you raise awareness to your profile. You can tell your story with a picture. Pinterest is great. You can have 50 boards, but the most important part is that every board name should be a keyword to increase your SEO. And Pinterest drives more traffic than Twitter, LinkedIn, and Reddit together. And it goes from web to store. So if you have a product, you can sell it. It was the first social media channel that you could sell directly from your Pinterest account to your consumer, but they just took like a commission. Boards, keywords, shop before and after. Home Depot is very big on Pinterest, as well as Nordstrom, as we see it here. Also, of course, Instagram. We cannot take away from Instagram. 75% of Instagrammers take action after being inspired by a post. And fortunately, in your post on Instagram, you cannot add a link. You can only add a link if you're doing an ad on Instagram. Grow your follow engagement, and that's why making sure that you're using the proper hashtag is important. People care about knowing about behind the scenes, about your story, have categories, have contests, giveaway, have funny posts, build a grid that looks very specific to your brand so you can attract more eyes to your Instagram. And now mobile. Mobile is important because 98% of text messages are opened in the first 5 minutes. Google loves mobile. 98% of millennials own a smartphone. Text messaging is actually starting to grow in the United States. I'm sure we all starting observing that. Though, believe it or not, text marketing in the Middle East and in Europe and in India, the Indian subcontinent, was huge maybe 15 years ago. So upcoming events, you know, people on text that are full words, you can tell that they are over 30 years old. If they use commas in their text, they are over 40 years old. So millennials spend their time on mobile in these key areas: in gaming, in content, and in local and social. And that's why focusing on mobile is important, and it's a new market somehow in the United States, so it's important to look at it. Production of a podcast. Podcast is basically having a radio station. It's evergreen, it's on the go. You can do interviews, spotlight, highlights, and you can syndicate it to big directories like Apple, like iTunes, like Google Podcasts, like Pandora, and it gives you a lot of exposure to people. 300 hours are added every minute on YouTube. So videos are the best way that you can show yourself. Again, it's evergreen and it stays there forever. You can have live videos on LinkedIn, on Instagram, on Facebook, and videos will always give you better visibility and bigger and more visibility online. These are success stories that I wanted to share with you. So we know the Tom's shows 1 for 1. Every pair of shoes that is sold, Tom's will donate one to someone, and that's why they attract millennials, because it's basically has a cause and they are socially responsible. Then we have Starbucks. They have the Orange Sleeve Society, or PSL, and it becomes like very famous around like Halloween and Thanksgiving. And they feel like they belong to a community. They send them like Orange Sleeve Society, and they sell an orange knit coffee sleeve embroidered with Team PSL. And this way they feel important. They feel like they belong to a community, and they take pictures of how they use it, and it becomes user-generated content. Then we have Birch. As we know, it's a monthly subscription, and it's tailored and personalized to the person's skin, hair type, and beauty concern. And that's why it's very important for millennial, because it's individualized, it's a personal experience, and it's personalized. Then we have LACROIX, or LACROIX. LACROIX they are very big on user-generated content, like you could see here. So they tell people, we will give you your 5 minutes of fame as long as you hashtag your post with hashtag LACROIX or LACROIX. Coca-Cola did the same Share a Coke campaign, where they took your name and they give you facts about your name, and you can actually order customized bottles with your name on it, like you see Champ, Matt, you know, Damien, Santa, you know, and it makes it personalized and customized. And this way people thought, or millennials thought, that they are share-worthy content. Again, user-generated content. So in summary, the brands have to be, like I said, authentic. They have to be personal. They have to be socially responsible. They have to be customized. They want to share participation, appeals to emotions. And then millennials basically need attendance. They have a short attention span. They share what they love. They listen to their peers. They want to be heard. They want to have fun. They want to contribute the story, and basically they like your uniqueness and convenience. So this is the end of the presentation.